The third door. And we're gonna get that really cool music again. 1869. Let's go. I'm so excited. That era was a rat race of innovation and development. Okay, we get a pool table, or a billiards table. The smoke was so thick, you could hardly see more than a few feet ahead of you. Also like the little gears on the bottom right here. It reminds me of Steins Gate, because there's a lot of gears in Steins Gate's text boxes as well as its just general style. I don't know, I'm just getting nostalgia for Steins Gate again. I need to finish Steins Gate 0 at some point. Yeah, I definitely need to finish Steins Gate 0 at some point. I could compare it to a dense morning fog, but that might give the impression of beauty, and of that, there was little to be found in this haze. Do you see the silhouettes of several men in the smoky room? The one in the middle, the one looking in your direction, master, was the present master of the house. Oh, wait. Is, like, the mansion right now a social hub? Okay. Jacopo or Hapoko? Ooh, I'm not for sure it's Japoko or Hapoko. Is this Hapoko or Jacopo? Ooh, because I know that in the previous chapter it was Javi, but I don't know if this is Hapoko or Hakopo or Jacopo. I think it's Jacopo. Oh, please correct me in the Twitch comments if I'm wrong about it being Jacopo. Because I feel like it would be Jacopo, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh, so maybe it was one. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought there was a stream issue because someone tagged me in the streaming channel on a Discord server, but it was unrelated. Alright. But yeah, is this Jacopo or Hakopo? I think it's Hakopo. No, Jacopo? I don't know. Man, I wish I could read the phonetics of this name. Because this could be Jacopo, but it could be Hakopo. It is the house in Fata Morgana. I'm gonna say Hakopo. I don't know why, but I feel like his name is Hakopo, not Jacopo. Hakopo. Because this is European pronunciation, so this could be Hakopo. I'm just gonna say Hakopo, but I can be correct to Jacopo if needed. His name was Hakopo. And though he dressed in such fine attire, I sincerely doubt he understood how splendid the furnishings left in the mansion truly were. I am a faithful servant of this house, and I would not, for the life of me, dare speak ill of my master. However, this is a time long past. I imagine God would be so kind as to turn a blind eye to a little bit of honesty. I was not terribly fond of my master back then. He had wavy hair the color of over-dried tea leaves, a piercing gaze, an arrogant smile, and he wore a hat that made him look rather haughty. He put his trust only in money, renown, and rank. He loved only the iron and steel that had revolutionized so many industries. So he's a capitalist. He had not the slightest bit of love or care for other people. At the very least, that is what I believed at the time. Take a look around the room, master. Hakopo had remodeled it into a recreation area. A billiards table sat in the center of the room, and the downwards facing lights hanging from the ceiling were special made. The lights shone upon the dark green stand like a stage. Cigars and bourbon-lined glass cases installed in place of bookshelves. The cases were always fully stocked, their contents available to partake of readily. At that particular moment, as he had many times before, Hakopo had invited several friends and acquaintances, and they were entertaining themselves. Hello, Lolliot! His wealthy, high-ranking acquaintances had a variety of hair colors, from polished rash to the brown of a baby robin to the color of sunburned wheat. There was also much greater variation in skin tone compared to the visitors and residents of previous eras. But that was hardly any surprise, for the mansion sat upon land inhabited largely by immigrants. The New World. The New World? Wait, what do you mean by the New World? Inhabited largely by immigrants. The New World. Are we in the US? Wait, what? Wait, I thought we were in Europe. Wait, are we in the US now? What the fuck? Also, I think everyone's getting an ad right now. Oops. Yeah, I forgot there was an ad break. Yep. I wish I could more readily see when I'm gonna have ad breaks so I could have like good, transitions into them. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for my next comment for at least 1 more minute during this ad break. Alright, the ad break is now released. We're all released from the ads. Oh, I love this character. Hakupo? Okay. Also, correct me if I'm wrong about the pronunciation. I'm assuming it's Hakupo, not Jacopo. It's Hakupo. I'm not for sure though. But yeah, I found this line to be very interesting, the New World, which could imply that the mansion moved to the US. So I thought this game was mainly going to be in Europe, but sat upon land inhabited largely by immigrants, the New World. That implies the US for this chapter, I think. I may be wrong on this one though, I may be wrong. But I feel like they crossed the pond with this line. Like, this line implies they crossed the pond. Hakupo's acquaintance. What's the matter? What are you looking at? Nothing. I just thought I heard someone say my name. Ain't no one here, unless you're seeing a ghost. I don't believe in such nonsense. It's an old house with a long history. Wouldn't be surprised if it had a ghost or two. Yeah, some people say Hakupo as well. Okay. Yeah, I was not for sure if it's Hakupo or Jacopo. But this place is gonna be haunted. I'd take a princess over a bloody broad any day. A princess, eh? And when she showed up, you would have your way with this ghost lady. Am I right? Calling me impressed, son. You jump her bones. And she don't even got any to jump. God, what the fuck? Come on now. That's hardly fair. Not much you can do with a ghost. My God, are you men or children? This is my house, and I'd rather you didn't talk about it like that. Just the blatherings of a couple of drunks, pretending you hear nothing. You didn't hear nothing. For the love of God. In any event, whatever happened to that printer you invested in? I haven't heard their name come out in some time. Ugh, can we please avoid that topic? It's been quite the headache for me. I thought it paid off, but it always sounded so sketchy to me. I recommend you pull out unless you want to find yourself with nothing but a nice fat pile of death. You could have mentioned that beforehand! Ah, this is killing me! The men's deep voices resonated in the cloudy room. I'm in the hospital, so I'll lurk. This door is my fave, so I'll be here for at least a bit. Okay, that's totally fine. Also, good luck in the hospital. I'm sorry to hear that. The men's deep voices resonated in the cloudy room. As they imbibe alcohol and puff on their cigars, they converse mostly about business and money. Hakupo and the rest of the men were a breed known as investors. I don't like the definition of investors being known as a breed. They're just a breed of their own. Investors. That is insane. That is insane. Holy shit. Holy shit. You might also call them tacticians. They survive on information attained before anyone else, by making swift decisions and having foresight. Though instead of flesh and bone, their soldiers were made of ink and paper. To an outsider, this meeting might appear to be a congregation of friends, but in reality, they were observing one another, gathering information, and anything else they could use to get ahead. Yeah, it's probably that, but he will be okay normally. I'm in the waiting room right now. Okay. I wish your father the best of luck, Laliet. At times, money and information were exchanged directly, and when they were no longer of financial value to one another, their relationship would pop like a bubble and dissipate into nothing. But you know, Acapulco, you can't be sure what this railroad is so passionate about is going to bear fruit neither. You don't even know if it will get finished. And even if they do connect the tracks, will it really be in any shape for people to ride? It's a pipe dream. This transcontinental railroad of yours. Well, you're gonna eat your words. Transcontinental railroad? Oh my god, Acapulco. You're making a pretty good investment, man. Acapulco went silent, but I am certain this is what was going through his head. You're a bunch of damn imbeciles if you can't see that entire country's putting their weight behind this endeavor. This is why you have so much trouble making even a few thousand. Oh, you have so much trouble making even a few thousand. I'm just gonna reread that line because I totally messed up that one. I'm trying to get used to, like, you know, reading a bunch of things again after a week of, like, you know, not doing Let's Read stuff. And I'm also trying out, like, different voices for this era. So, yeah, I'm gonna repeat that one. You're a bunch of damn imbeciles if you can't see that the entire country's put their weight behind this endeavor. This is why you have so much trouble even making a few thousand. At the time, a great railway was being built across the breadth of the continent. Construction was spearheaded by two large rail companies, in competition for both prestige and a bigger share of this massive national enterprise. We actually learned quite a bit about this in elementary school in the US. Like, we learned quite a bit about the Transcontinental Railroad because it literally connected the east and west of the country. The Union Pacific Railroad Company started building from the east, and the Central Pacific Railroad Company from the west. God, this is just nostalgia for, like, you know, when I was a child learning about this shit. But government bonds alone were not enough to finance the massive undertaking. By the way, there must have been some less than pleasant reports about workers dying on the job for the company you chose, Central Pacific. Ah, you mean how they're using explosives to blast through the mountains? Making quite a bang they are. But if this gets to be much bigger of a fix, they're not going to be able to continue construction. You should at least put your money in the more sure bet of the two, the Union Pacific. It'll cost you to hire replacement workers, and if they keep kicking the bucket, you're gonna have trouble finding more. My goodness. And here I thought you all had spines. You think we're gonna run out of workers just because a few ate it? There's so many we don't even know what to do with them all. There's not a chance that the well will dry up. And if by some chance it does, all we have to do is buy up a ship full of... I'm not saying that. Ooh, whoa, wow, wow. Well, that's a slur. I'm not saying that. Wow. Well, yeah, it is the 1860s. It is the 1860s. What the fuck, Hakupo? My god. You won't get anywhere if you spend your time worrying about a few measly laborers. This is an endeavor backed by the entire nation. Their deaths are honorable, in service of their country. The biggest loss is not of people's lives, but of time. Damn, he really is a investor. The longer a project takes, the more money it costs, and the less profit we make. And what we seek is rapid progress, even if the best methods to attain it are messy or deadly. The other men in the room chuckled uncomfortably at Hakupo's distasteful choice of words. Do you agree with his way of thinking, Master? No. No. Even though I know that Hakupo is going to make a lot of money through the Transcontinental Railroad, he is very, very disgusting. Perhaps he does have a point. In that great sacrifice, it's necessary to accomplish great things. And it is true that tragedy often lies in the shadows of the splendor of times long past. Furthermore, the way people see the world changes with the times, so I hesitate to criticize him too severely. Now, as I am sure you have already picked up on, he was an investor who had put up money into a railroad company. He also possessed several crude oil refineries, riding on the world's second wave of industrial development. The mansion, too, bustled with life, in a way it never had before. Dozens of maids, including me, gardeners, chefs, sculptors, artists. At times, we even had writers coming in and out of the house. It was rarely a moment of silence. However, I was not terribly fond of the hustle and bustle personally. But please, do not get me wrong. I am hardly opposed to the mansion being cheerful. It was just... how should I put it? The splendor of the time seemed superficial, heartless. It was as though everyone was being rushed along by some unknown, invisible force. Part of it was, I expect, caused by the growing divide between those standing at the top and those sitting at the bottom. Or perhaps, the mansion was simply taking after its master. There's no time to waste. Everything is resting upon the success of this project. Whatever it takes, I will ensure it happens. I need more money, more power. Suddenly, a restrained knock on the door stopped his train of thought. From beyond the door came a woman's voice, gentle as a soft spring breeze. White-haired girl? Pardon me, I have made some tea. May I offer anyone a cup? Yep, white-haired girl. When the door opened, in it stood a beautiful woman with pure white hair. It was indeed her. Are you surprised? Not really. Or did you anticipate her appearance? I did. Oh, her hair grew back! Yeah, her hair is long again. Though she was not the same age, and dressed differently, the white-haired girl, whom you saw fall into the hands of misfortune in the era of roses and the era of the beasts, was also present in this era of innovation. Furthermore, she was Hakupo's wife. Oh, interesting. Tea? I don't recall asking for that. When were you asked to make it? I wasn't, but I had these leaves with the most wonderful aroma, and I thought you might enjoy... Shut your trap and know your place! What do you think we have all these maids for? Hey now. No need to treat your lady like that. She was just trying to be courteous. These are my personal affairs. Please keep your comments to yourself. His friends were unsure how to react, but ultimately, nobody stepped up to stop Hapoko. They merely shrugged, tossing glances at one another. Hakupo stomped over to the white-haired girl. He then grabbed her by the arm and dragged her from the dip. I don't like the sounds of what Hapoko's doing. What the hell do you think you're doing? I told you time and again to stay away from that room unless absolutely necessary! I'm sorry, but I need tea and... Shut up about the tea already! You think we're having tea parties in there like a bunch of prissy nobles? I'm sorry. If you really feel so bad, don't go in there in the first place! Get the hell back to your room! I meant no harm. It's just, I'm your wife. I thought it would be nice if I could do something. Like I told you, that's not your job. Don't show yourself in front of the other men. I have nothing else to say to you. I feel bad for the white-haired girl. God, Hapoko's an ass. Got it! Now scram. Sakes alive, first them, now you. It's driving me up the wall. What is it? I told you to get out of here. What? When will you spend time with me next? It has been some time since we last went out together. We don't even have to go out. Just having dinner together would. How many times are you going to make me repeat myself, you worthless tramp? Are those ears only for show? Go back to your goddamn room! Any apologies? God. Looking utterly downtrodden, the white-haired girl made her departure. No wonder why the maid hated him. Holy fuck. Such a piteous sight she was. As he watched her go, Hapoko merely snorted. Just thinking about the way he behaved then angers me. I have little fondness for men who do not treat their spouses with respect. So as you can see, the white-haired girl was in hardly a joyous situation. She was devoted to Hapoko and tried to do whatever she could for him, but he not only brushed her aside, he did so in an insulting, deliberately hurtful manner. They were far from picturesque partners. Do you wonder then, Master, why she married him? The answer to that question will come to light in time. For now, let us follow her. Looking down dejectedly at the undrunken tea, the white-haired girl walked alone down the corridor. Though its calming scent filled the air, there was nobody around to have their heart warmed by it. Nor was there anyone to alleviate her loneliness. Despite being the master's wife, the maids who crossed her path in the halls said nary a word to her. Nary a word? That's a new term. That's a new term. As a matter of fact. Oh dear! I beg your pardon, madame. It's fine. One even bumped into her, stifling a laugh as she trotted off. In all the likelihood, she had done it intentionally. The poor white-haired girl, who had fallen to the floor, stared helplessly at the broken cups. The tea she had made for her husband was forming a stain in the carpet. The maid's behavior towards the mistress of the house was absolutely unacceptable. Nonetheless, it was commonplace, all because of the way Hapoko treated her. The more the man of the house acted cruel to her, the less weight her position as his wife held to the servants. Day in and day out, the maids worked heavily, offered little opportunity for leisure, so they would naturally have accumulated quite a bit of stress. And she became the target for them to let off the steam. Not directly, but through a more subdued kind of harassment from the shadows. She must have felt quite miserable. I imagine she would have been better off as one of the maids. On the surface, and in front of others, they showed respect for her as Hapoko's bride, but behind closed doors, they acted very much the opposite. The disparity between the treatment she received around others, the treatment she was supposed to receive at all times, and the way she was actually treated made the abuse that much worse. And furthermore, as you've seen through the other doors, Master, she was a very reserved young woman. She could neither raise her voice in reprimand nor raise her hand in retaliation. I have to get this cleaned up. She extended her spindly fingers towards the shards of shattered porcelain. But even the broken cup seemed to have no concern to spare for her. Its shattered edge cut her fingertip when she made to pick it up. A trickle of warm, red blood ran across her unearthly white skin. As painful as it was, it had a sort of taboo beauty to it. The blood spilling from her fingers showed no signs of slowing down. She clenched her hand into a fist, let out a sigh, and went back to collecting the shards of porcelain. But when she did... Madame! Madame! What's the matter? Ah, madame, you're bleeding! While all the other maids ignore her, one came running over, shouting to the white-haired girl inside. We need to get that cleaned and bandaged up. Oh, you don't need to pick that up. That's not your job, madame. It's all right, Maria. There's not much to pick up. It is not at all right. And the rest of you, why are you just standing there? Your boss's wife is on her hands and knees. You're not even lifting a finger to help her? You disgust me. Maria, it's fine, really. Oh, madame. If you weren't so timid, this wouldn't happen. You're allowed to yell at them, you know. It's all right. Really. It's my fault. Anyway, we should get that finger taken care of. Let's get you back to your room, okay? But the broken cups and the spill. As I said, that's the maid's work. Now come on, let's go. Okay. And the rest of you, get this mess cleaned up. She roared like the wind in a thunderstorm. The other maids stood there, dumbfounded, watching as she and the white-haired girl disappeared down the hall. But they were soon frowning and grumbling to one another. She thinks she could act all high and mighty just because the master is fond of her. Okay. The woman's name was Maria. She was one of the maids. And she was the one person in the mansion the white-haired girl could think of as an ally. Though her husband paid her no mind, and the maids made her life miserable. Just one person, Maria, treated her with respect and kindness. And I am sure you could readily imagine just how much of a lifesaver that was for her. I, too, found myself somewhat relieved that Maria was there for her. Being a servant of this house, I was also one of the maids working there at that time. However, I was unable to involve myself to any great degree in her fate. This meant that there was little I could do to assist her, even in times of pain and unpleasantness. The best I could do was pray that Maria will continue to lend the white-haired girl her hand. And that does it! Thank you, Maria. You were always such a big help. Oh no! No need to thank me! I just did what any good maid should do. No one else is in the room, you know. Oh, right. Then I could drop the act? Man! I just can't get used to talking all stuffy. Oh, there we go. I'm out here doing my best, but the head maid's still spouting stuff like, "Your manner of speaking is improper for a servant." Every single time we meet! Eesh, come on, just shove it, would ya? You're a damn creep. No. You mustn't speak of her like that. Sorry, slip of the tongue. She just kinda gives me the willies, you know? Speaking of, you dropped the stuffy talk too, madame. Kinda awkward if only one of us is acting casually, no? This is normal for me. If I attempted to talk like you, I would freeze up out of nervousness. This is my casual. Fair enough. Guess that's what happens when you're raised well. I like it though. Has a very regal feel about it. I don't think my upbringing is the only factor. But you know, upbringing is important. Worth a whole lot more than money, I'd say. I suppose. Thank you, Maria. You're always so compassionate. You betcha! They don't call me the Virgin Mary for nothing. I practically bleed compassion. You know, That might be true. You very well could be the reincarnation of the Mother of God. No! You were supposed to laugh at that! It's just embarrassing if you take it seriously. Alone in the white-haired girl's room, Maria was acting much more friendly and relaxed as they conversed, as opposed to her no-nonsense attitude in the hallway. The two women were, as you can see, quite close. They had crossed over the wall separating master from servant and built a bond of friendship. And at some point, they had begun to speak frankly with one another when no one else was around. Maria was the only person in the mansion around whom the white-haired girl felt comfortable being open. I imagine she very much enjoyed these moments of conversation. You know what? I'm really glad that at least in one door, the white-haired girl has a friend. Now, Maria's probably gonna have something horrible happen to her, but I'm at least happy that the white-haired girl has a friend this time. You wish to know who the head maid was? My. Are you sure you want to ask me that, Master? Some questions are better left unasked, for your own good. I have to say, Madame, you have quite the prettiest fingers. Mine are all rough and dry and nasty. You think so? Mine haven't had the slightest bit of muscle. They're about as frail as dead branches. Oh, who needs beefy mitts anyway? I still think healthy-looking hands like yours are far more attractive. What? What's to like about these things? Women all over the world dream of having hands like yours. Slender, vitamin, and perfectly cared for. I don't know, just looking at them lights a fire in my loins. Wow, okay. Are we gonna get some GL action in here? Makes me want to lick every last one of them. Actually, say, can I lick them? Can I rub my tongue up and down all dead of those sweet little digits? Sweet little digits. That is an insane thing to say on stream. Come on, can I? What do you say? Stop that, Maria. Seriously. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, Maria. Oh, right. Did those tea leaves turn out? How did those tea leaves turn out, Madame? The ones you imported. All the maids just adore it. They can't get enough of that aroma. I'd sure like to get a taste of it. If you end up with extra, you think you could spare a sip for me? That was in the cups I dropped. What? Really? Well, ain't that a crying shame? And Hapoko wouldn't have any of it? God, why does that man have a stick up his ass? You went through all that trouble of making it for him, and he was busy. It's not his fault. Oh my god, poor white-haired girl. Busy? You been playing billiards, drinking bourbon, and puffing a damn cigar? It may look to us like they are just making small talk, but I'm certain their meeting has some importance to their business. It was imprudent of me to try to step into the men's world. That's just not right! I mean, you're his wife! Why shouldn't you be allowed to go into the room? It doesn't bother me. You don't have to pretend. Here's an idea. How would you like to have some of that tea now? Oh, there's an ad break going on. I'm gonna wait a second because there's an ad break. This also gives me some time to relax my voice. But yeah, for the YouTube version of this video, you're just gonna see my ad breaks because, well, to a degree, like, there's no stop to the YouTube upload of these streams, which is part of the reason why I do upload these gameplays onto YouTube, so that, you know, you can have an adless run of my Let's Reads. Although at the same time now, as there's, like, you know, no ads on the YouTube version because I don't do mid-roll ads. You have to literally get segments of me just sitting here, just chilling before, you know, the ad is over. I mean, I could read through the ads, but I feel like that's unfair to the viewers on Twitch. Like, I know there's, like, Twitch Premium or Twitch, I don't know what you call it, like, follow? No, follow is what you do. Subscriptions, yes. So there's Twitch subscriptions, which, like, let you, you know, ignore the ads. Yeah, I really don't know how ads work on Twitch. Like, I added them onto my streams just so that I could, you know, get a little bit of money for streaming because this does, you know, cost a little bit. At the same time, though, I feel bad for the, you know, normal viewers that are just trying to watch my streams and they get an ad break in the middle of it. Yeah, to a degree, I do feel bad for the Twitch people. Meanwhile, for YouTube, you get my random rambles like this. So yeah, enjoying my rambles? It's almost over, like 4 more seconds. There we go. Yep, it's over.
Here's an idea. How would you like to have some of that tea now? We also have some orange marmalade. Would you like so much? Would you like so much? Add a scoop of that and a tray of cookies, and we have the perfect tea time. You're singing the siren song with them! But you really should be doing that with him. He would not have tea. I suspect he does not like it. I don't want it to go to waste, so. Madame, I know it's none of my business, and I have no place at all saying this, but it's not impossible for a woman to file divorce these days. You don't have to sit down and take it, not one bit. You're pretty, well-educated, and still young. There's hope, even if you do leave him. There are plenty of other men out there. You aren't obligated to stick with that arrogant jerk. He's just very busy right now. And there you go again! There was a time when he was kind. He wasn't like this when we first met. Back then, he was a little awkward, but a kind man. Him? A kind man? Yes, believe it or not.
How are you liking the store so far? Ooh, I am really enjoying the general aesthetic of this era. Like that, I like the aesthetic of the Industrial Age mainly because it brings out a lot of interesting stories. Like, it's basically the, you know, end of the old world and into the new world, the world of innovation. And I always find stories in this era to be very fascinating, especially from the perspectives of the people who are benefiting from the Industrial Revolution. Now, Hippoco's a fucking asshole, but I'm really intrigued to see how his character develops in this door, because it seems like in all doors, there is a moment of character degradation to a degree, because throughout door 1, Mel slowly broke down, as well as door 2, Yukimasa broke down. So I'm excited to see how Hippoco, you know, breaks down in this door. I'm also really liking the dynamic between the white-haired girl and Maria, because I really enjoy the fact that the white-haired girl finally has a friend in one of these worlds. I guess to a degree she was friends with Mel, but that was like an awkward friendship. Meanwhile, this one just feels natural.
Yes, believe it or not, there was indeed a time. Say, Maria, would you mind giving me a little bit more of your time? I'll make some tea, and we can talk.
Alright. If you're telling me about when Hippoco was decent, I'm all ears.
Indeed.
Oh, you're really close.
As I'm sure you're aware, our parents arranged our marriage. Before I immigrated to this country to be married, I lived in a misty island nation. Portraits of my ancestors hung in the house where I lived. I remember, as a child, wincing in fear at the sight of them staring down at me.
Okay, so this time she didn't live in poverty. Hippoco is one of the most well-written characters in this game. Okay. I'm really excited to see more of Hippoco.
My mother and father were constantly telling me to show them respect, and it was their hard work that kept our bloodline alive and well. However, they were fighting an uphill battle to do the same. it would have been clear to anyone reasonably perceptive that our house was coming tumbling down. Valuable furniture and painting slowly disappeared, and eventually, the porches were gone too.
I take back that, she was doing better off in this timeline. It seems like they were in the process of going into poverty this time.
As our house collapsed, so too did my parents' health deteriorate, robbing us of any source of income. And though I was educated, I lacked the skills necessary to obtain work. Just as we were about to run out of money and options, my parents received Hapoko's parents' marriage proposition. Both of our families stood to benefit from their arrangement. I had social status, and he had wealth. We each had what the other lacked. One needs more than money to make it in the world. Without at least a semi-reputable name attached to you, you're liable to get laughed at most social gatherings. I first met Hapoko here in this country. We didn't even know what the other looked like until our wedding day. To be quite honest, I was scared to death at first. I was so nervous. What kind of man would he be? Was I to be wed to some middle-aged stranger? We were not marrying because we had fallen in love like a normal couple. I knew I was in no position to be concerned with such things, but when I thought about our future, I shook with fear. But the man I saw through my veil at the wedding was remarkable. He was young, had strong, masculine eyes, and at the same time, he too appeared nervous. He was shaken as much, no, even more than me. Seeing that, the priest gave him an implish little smirk when he asked Hapoko if he vowed his eternal love to me. I counted myself among the happy, and I still do. For in that moment, I experienced true love. You wanted to hear about when he was kind to me? Well, after the wedding, we were given a week to ourselves. I suppose you could call it a honeymoon, though we didn't take a trip overseas, or even go very far at all. He looked at me with uncertainty and asked, "Where would you like to go?" I beg your pardon?
That's what this week is for, right? I consider granting your request, so tell me where you want to go.
This is all so sudden.
Nothing? Well, this whole engagement was spur of the moment. Normally, we would have planned a trip in advance. But unfortunately, our purpose is served so long as we act the part. Oops. Auto-save by accident. I meant to press the next line. You must be disappointed that you have to plan your honeymoon as it's happening.
No,
What? Speak clearly. I don't like it when people don't speak their mind.
I'm sorry, but I'm happy. Even if this is a political marriage.
Well, you're quite the positive thinker. Your parents say something to make you think that way? Well, either way, if you're so glad to be in this arrangement, then hurry up and decide on a destination. Though, there is a limit to how far we can go. If you want to take a trip, I'll consider it. What? Is something funny?
It just seemed comical to me that our honeymoon has begun, and we're only now deciding where we want to go. Not in a bad way, though. I'm glad our parents didn't arrange everything for us. Perhaps you've heard, but I am quite sensitive to sunlight and not in the best of health. So it would be rather trying for me to spend a full week out of the house. We couldn't go on a trip, but if it's not too much trouble.
Speak up.
Could you show me around town? I'm new to this country, and unfamiliar with its customs, and I'm rather afraid to go wandering about on my own.
Show you around. Hapoko looking directly at us sometimes. Oh, wait, he does that too? I need to take a look at his facial reactions throughout this chapter.
Yes. Would that be possible?
On a rare bit of time off, you asked me to show you around town? Is that really the most exciting idea you have?
I'm sorry. If, there is somewhere you would like to go, I am fine with that. I will accompany you anywhere.
As if I could drag someone who just professed being sickly all over the country. My god, I've lost all interest in a trip. And that was when he was kind to you? Hello, what are you doing? Go get ready now.
I beg your pardon?
Didn't you want to see the town?
You will show me around?
You're the one who asked. Not like I have any other options, so yeah, I'll show you around.
Thank you.
Don't just stand there, you dullard. Get a move on.
One moment. Wait for me, please.
Hapoko is the kindest man. I question your definition of kind. He seems impatient. Ooh, I like that horse-drawn carriage. That is definitely a photo edited over. Like, it still looks good, but that is definitely an edited over picture of a carriage.
He hurriedly climbed into the carriage he had called for, a look of frustrated displeasure on his face. And then, as if he had forgotten about me until that moment, he returned, grabbed me by the arm, and led me to the carriage. In retrospect, I realized he was not being very gentlemanly, but I was pleased that he was making any attempt to interact with me at all. As the carriage trotted down the streets, I saw so many new things.
I wonder where they are in the US.
I had spent most of my time cooped up inside at home, so it was like stepping into an entirely new world. And add to that the rapid industrial advancement currently taking place, I saw men shouting back and forth as they smacked newspaper articles with the backs of their hands. I saw corner cafes crowded with cigar-smoking men on a break from work. It was like the hustle and bustle of a festival. But every festival has its underside. I also saw overworked men, looking like they were on the verge of collapse, drinking water from a spigot on the side of the road. By the way of contrast, I wore fine clothing and had a carriage at my disposal. I imagine every day was a struggle for them just to remain afloat. Had I not married the man I had, I too might have found myself on the streets in a similar situation. But it was not relief that spread through my breast at the sight of them. It was pangs of guilt. It felt to me like a life of opulence was wrong, sinful. It broke my heart to know I was living so much better than them. Hapoko snorted disapprovingly at me, seemingly reading my mind, and then said, "The poor man who envies the rich, covets his wealth, and finds ambition to make the same for himself, and the rich man who pities the poor, thinking it his duty to give them offerings of philanthropy. To me, the latter is far more nefarious. Excessive charity will ruin a man, make him come to expect handouts. And then there are those with the wrong idea of pity, who let themselves fall down into the same place, mistaken believing it will somehow make the poor feel better. What a joke. If you're going to do anything for them, you might as well encourage them to climb upward. Spur on economic growth and the flow of capital. Doesn't that sound like the better option?" I say nothing, simply smiling and giving an ambiguous nod. He had a point. My sympathy and guilt meant nothing to people actually experiencing hardship. If, feeling guilty of my own fortune, I acted upon that pity in the way he had described, it would accomplish little more than self-satisfaction. He seemed to have seen straight through to my very core. This was a man who had built his own fortune through investment, which I imagine required him to be rather astute. But doesn't a world where everyone is constantly trying to climb higher and higher sound rather exhausting? I personally would prefer to be in a position where I could watch, if only from a distance, as others climbed. But obviously, I could not say as much to him. Sometime later, the carriage came to a stop in front of a shop. As I looked at the building perplexedly, he gestured to the door with his chin, signaling for me to get out. Lost and confused, I stepped down from the carriage, and before me spread a showcase behind a large glass window. However, lined up in the case were not precious metals or expensive clothing, but machines. At first, I had no idea what kind of devices they were.
Have you never had your photo taken before?
No. I've had a portrait painted, though. Are these machines for taking photographs?
Portrait, eh? Why am I not surprised?
I did not mean to boast.
Go on, get in.
Please, wait for me. The owner came out to greet us with a wide smile as we entered the shop.
Whoa, if this isn't the strangest thing I've seen all day. You, bringing a lady, and a real looker at that. Where on earth you catch this pretty little thing?
She's my wife.
Huh. Well, I beg your pardon. I'll be a monkey's uncle. Just goes to show, you never know where the cards may fall.
You make us sound like my getting married is some kind of miracle.
I always saw you as one to choose money over love, sir. Oh, pardon me. This isn't appropriate to say in front of your wife.
Do you often come to the shop?
On occasion. I need some things here and there from time to time.
I see.
There you go, smirking again. What's so funny?
We're going to have our photo taken, yes? I'm so nervous and excited. I've never had one before. And to have it taken side by side with you.
What are you talking about?
Pardon?
Who said we're getting our pictures taken? Oh my god. Poco! It's side by side, please. You're sending shivers down my spine.
But this is a photography shop.
Hey, shopkeep. The product I contacted you about. Is it ready? Oh my fucking god, you ass. Oh, yep. Sit tight. I'll be right out.
You take a seat. There's a chair over there.
What?
I'm going to show you something much more exciting than sitting still and waiting in front of a camera lens. Oh? Just do as I say. Okay. I sat down in front of a large mirror, which I presume was normally used to check your appearance before having your picture taken. Sitting before a mirror with someone else present was quite nerve-wracking. Out of embarrassment, I dropped my gaze to my knees. But when Hapolko returned, I was entranced by the curious object in his hands.
Oh. That's interesting.
What is this?
Do you know what persistence of vision is?
Huh?
The human eye does not perceive the world 100% accurately. This is especially true for objects in motion.
It remembers images for a short time, so if you put a new image in the same place, your eye perceives it as in motion.
Wait, I think I know what he's talking about. Yeah, no, I think I know what he's talking about. Interesting. Wait, I don't know the name of this, but I've seen stuff like this before, actually.
Seeing for yourself will be faster than explaining it. You see the slits in the disc? Look through the bottom one and into the mirror.
Ah, the beginning of motion picture.
Okay. Good, just like that. Bring your head in close. Here goes. Standing behind me, he slid his fingers across the top of the peculiar toy, causing it to spin gracefully. And then...
Oh, that's cool.
Ah. So, what do you see? They're dancing! A man and woman are dancing! Sounds like you're not having any trouble seeing it. Are they dancing well? Yes. Yes, they are. It's the most adorable thing.
What? Adorable?
That's funny. I asked to have it modeled after a ballroom dance. Yes. It's a very elegant dance. But you see, they're small, like little dwarfs, which I thought was kind of cute. And they seem so close, going around and around without ever letting go of each other's hands. This is incredible. Why does it look like they're dancing? They were all lined up in a row a few moments ago. Goodness, I just explained that to you. It's playing a trick on your eyes. What you're seeing is lots of different pictures in a short period of time. To put it in words you might understand better, it's an illusion. Your eyes are being fooled into believing the image is moving. An illusion? But they're dancing. They really are. And they look like they're having a wonderful time. Are you sure it's an illusion and not something else? To me, it does not seem to be. I cannot see it as anything but two tiny people dancing. That's how it works. Reach out your hand and try to grab them. You won't be able to. You're right. That's a shame. I didn't think you actually would. But it's the most precious thing. They look as though they're dancing atop my palm. I was mesmerized by this strange phenomenon. Pictures were moving, after all. Still images had begun dancing before me. It was almost as if God had breathed life into them. He had called it an illusion, but I could not grasp that. It was such an adorable, heartwarming sight. I imagined the two were off living in some other world, separate from our own. They looked so happy. I was almost certain that they were off dancing in their joyous world, free from all the sorrow and loneliness and pain of this one. Eventually, the speed at which they danced began to slow, as if they were resting their legs. I almost thought I could hear the sound of their feet with each step. They've stopped. They can dance forever. They don't get tired. I see. I'm amazed such an incredible device exists in this world. It makes me wish I had gone outside sooner. I'm sure someone from as distinguished a house as yours has seen plenty of amazing things with your family. Hardly. I rarely ever left the house. I'm ignorant about the ways of the world. If you had not told me, I would have probably never known about moving pictures. The illusion of moving pictures.
Do you like it?
Yes, of course. More than the portrait you have painted? Yes. Yes, I do. The painting was wonderful too, but You can't seem to make up your mind. Go on, tell me, which you like better, the portrait or this? I like this better. I see. He looks somewhat pleased. Though when it comes down to it, this is a simple trick only a child will fall for. Then, I suppose that makes me a child. If it means I get to watch something as splendid as two tiny people dancing, I'll happily fall for the trick. Quit describing it as two tiny people dancing. You're going to lose your head that far up in the clouds. I'm sorry. I do not know how else to describe it, though. It's a toy called...
Oh, that's gonna be hard for me to pronounce.
Phenakistoscope. It's a toy called a Phenakistoscope. Oh my god. It's a toy called a Phenakistoscope. Phenakistoscope? Phenakistoscope.
You make it sound so easy to pronounce that, Hapoko.
Phenakistoscope. Wheel. Close enough. It was invented around 30 years ago. I had the shopkeep made one model after the original design. So the shop owner drew this? He did. A lot better than you expect, isn't he? Yes, indeed. I am surprised he could draw something so cute. Say that to his face, and he will go as red as a beet. What'd I get to get a load of that? You should tell him the next time you see him. He's a sweet man. Despite how he looks, you mean? It's not right to judge people based on their appearance. I'm just kidding. Don't take it too seriously. The shopkeep here loves new technology. That Phenakistoscope is one such invention that caught his eye. You can trick the eye into thinking drawings are moving. Using a sequence of photos, you can perhaps make it seem as though real people are moving too. And if it becomes possible to show those images to many people at once, these developments could broaden the options artists have to express themselves.
He is basically talking about the formation of animation. Like, that's one thing I'm noticing here. He is talking about the formation of animation. And yes, when I was in high school, I did look up a lot of stuff about cartoons and animation because at one time, I kind of wanted to get into cartoons. Like, I was a huge fan of anime and Western animation, so I'm like, maybe I can get into cartoons. And then I realized my drawing ability needs a lot of work. Like, hey, I'm out of college now, I have a lot of free time, I definitely need to learn how to draw. And I know a lot of the history behind animation and cartooning, so this Phenakistoscope looks familiar to me, but I did not remember its name. I mean, hell, who remembers Phenakistoscope from the top of their head? Who knows a Phenakistoscope from the top of their head?
Not drawings, but photographs? Yes, photos. By taking hundreds or perhaps thousands of photographs, it would be possible to reproduce the world as we see it. This room, people walking down the streets. There's no point in recording boring everyday life, though. If you're gonna leave a record of anything behind, it should be the projects and enterprises that move nations. Say, for example, a moving record of the opening ceremony of the railroad.
You fucking suck, Hapoko. You fucking suck.
That would be something worth watching.
I mean, I see his points, though. I see his points. Because he's trying to, record historical moments. Like, historical moments of innovation. Like, that's what his mindset is. He is all for the innovation of the world around them. Like, I do see where Hapoko's coming from. Doesn't mean he's less or more of an ass. No, he's definitely an asshole. But at the same time, I see his viewpoint. Like, I see his viewpoint. He is passionate about the innovations of the technological age. Well, the industrial age. I would not say this is the technological age. This is the industrial age. But back then, don't talk so bad about Hapoko. Okay, I'm giving him some lenience, Laliet. I'm giving him some lenience. Like, he may be somewhat unpleasant, but I can see where his visions are. Like, he has a romantic view of the world of innovation. I'll try to be nice to him. He's not always an asshole. It's just that I don't like how he treats the white-haired girl.
And then, in time, it would expand beyond a mere record-keeping technology and find its way into the hands of artists.
Okay.
Is such a thing possible? He must remain still for a long time just to take a single photograph. Right now it isn't, but eventually it will be. And I'm not simply fantasizing here. Is that so? It sounds so very futuristic. Do you... What? Do you want to support people who work on that sort of thing? Is that why you are friends with the owner? It has nothing to do with my wants. I merely think there's money in it.
He secretly likes artists. Hiboko confirms to like artists. He's just hiding his love of art.
The rich starve for entertainment, and artists create that entertainment. I have no interest in their pretentious self-expression. I just want their money. What? What's so funny? You look like you're enjoying yourself. Honestly, it's just about the money.
Okay, Mr. Krabs.
As you say.
Alright, let's get moving. Next is dinner.
What? We're leaving already? Does that displease you? No, not at all. To tell you the truth, I wanted to spend a little more time playing with the Phenakistoscope wheel, but I could not bring myself to say as much.
Hiboko just greedy as fuck. He's Mr. Krabs. He's Mr. Krabs confirmed.
Reluctantly, I approached the owner to return the wheel.
Don't bother. Bring it with you.
What? But...
If you don't want it, that's fine too.
Just make your decision quickly.
You're making the driver wait.
Having said that, Hiboko exited the shop. I alternated between looking at his back and the Phenakistoscope wheel, debating what I wanted to do. And then, with a smile, the owner whispered to me,
"You're allowed to keep it, really. Your husband out there has made it a gift for you. Your husband out there had made it as a gift to you."
For me?
A little while back, he came to my shop asking if I could make a Phenakistoscope. Now that knocked me out of my chair. He's a man who almost never asks for favors. He's pretty damn brusque, and he's got a tongue sharp enough to cut steel, but he's not wicked to his core. I swear it. So please, ma'am, be a pillar of support for him. Okay, that is sweet of Hiboko. That is sweet.
In that moment, the Phenakistoscope wheel became a precious treasure to me. We had only just married days earlier, and yet he had commissioned it for me without even knowing what I looked like. I was filled with a warm, pleasant elation. I agreed with the owner. Hiboko was not a bad man. He merely had difficulty expressing himself. Hurrying back to the carriage, I gave him my deepest thanks. He glanced over at me for a moment, then turned back towards the window and muttered, "Yeah." From there, we went to a restaurant for dinner.
You call this a pizza? The crust is an atrocity. It's like I'm chewing on rubber. How can you wave my country's flag and not serve spaghetti? Do you have any shame at all? Is Hiboko Italian? Okay, I just made an assumption when I saw spaghetti. I just made an assumption. This wine is pitifully unbalanced. Far too high levels of acidity. Listen to me carefully. The house wine is the face of a restaurant.
He complained about every little thing. It was a complete disaster. But curiously enough, I was not at all put off by his behavior. When the sun set, the carriage made its way to a nearby hill. The cool nighttime breeze felt wonderful on my skin, flushed from the alcohol, and the light from the gas lamps had a comforting warmth to it.
Yeah, Italian. Okay, so he is Italian. He's the kindest bad man.
The Hopoko had complained about the quality of the wine. Once he had intoxicated himself, his mood improved visibly. It made him unexpectedly talkative. Look out at the city! A gloomy town that shuts down at night isn't suited to the expansion of growth, but this city isn't like that. You could see people walking beneath the lamps, and you could hear the bustle of them talking. This is a city that still has plenty of room to grow. As they ride the rising weight of the economy, many more people will gather here. More people means more money in circulation. More money in circulation means the city grows, companies are founded, and more goods are bought and sold. Will it really change so drastically? It can be difficult to see what's happening from the inside. But the majority of people just go about their daily lives, and the next thing they know, things are different. No, I wager most don't notice the changes at all. Only those with eyes sharp enough to realize what's happening can see success. I cannot afford to overlook even the most minute change. Do you have a dream of some kind? A dream? I'm not sure if it's easy enough to attain to call a dream. Others might call it greed, or perhaps ambition. Don't laugh now. My intention is to make the world mine. The world? Yes, the world. And to do that, you need neither physical strength or kindness, but money and influence. People have no choice but to kneel before those forces. Why are you so intent on obtaining power? Because I want to change my country, I imagine. Your country? You are aware that I, like you, am an immigrant, right? I immigrated from an island in the Mediterranean, though not the same island as you. My country is a peculiar place where candor and violence go hand in hand. As a whole, the country is on the poor side, and if nobody does anything about that, I am one but a few of my fellow countrymen who have set his sights on the new world. They are falling behind other nations. If I find success here, perhaps that will catch their attention. But if it doesn't, then my country is doomed to collapse. You have much love for your homeland. My feelings are a little more complicated than mere love. But that's nothing you need to concern yourself with. Well, I'll have to remember not to get myself drunk around a woman again.
Damn!
Forget everything I just said. It's about time we head back to the house. Alright, but what is it? Is it alright if I provided you encouragement as you try to attain your dream? I know my presence is more likely to be a hindrance, but I would like to be there to watch as you trek forward.
I suppose. Do as you wish.
Thank you. You have my support then. Darling? Ugh, sent a shiver down my spine, though not an unpleasant one. I am glad to have you as my partner. I was, without a doubt, happy then. His smile, the things he said, the Phenakistoscope wheel he gave me, they were all undeniably real. And those memories gave me the will to wait for the day things go back to the way they were. They allow me to believe
That was horrific. That sound is horrific. Holy shit, that was horrific. But, awesome. So far, Door 3 has been awesome so far. I really enjoy the depth they bring to the characters in this door, especially with the white-haired girl as well as Hapoko. But, yes. I'm a little bit over time for today, but that was worth it. Like, that was really, really good. I enjoy reading that. Well, thank you all for joining today's stream, and I'm excited to play more Door 3 next week. And also, I'm very glad to rest my voice from Yukimasa's voice, because holy shit, Yukimasa's voice was really hard for me to do. Like, for Hapoko, I'm doing a little bit more of a lighter tone, like a Bryce Papenbrook approach, and for the white-haired girl, it's just like a very soft voice. And then, of course, like, the maid, like, I'm literally using my normal voice, but I softened it a little bit. So the voices are a lot easier on my throat than, like, you know, fucking Yukimasa, where I gave him a very deep voice. Like, the deep voice that I give to Yukimasa is very, very taxing on my throat. Like, I could have done a different voice for Yukimasa, but I had too much fun doing Yukimasa's voice. But now, I'm kind of doing a Bryce Papenbrook voice for Hapoko. And yes, as soon as I learned that he's Italian, I'm trying to give like a slight Italian tinge, though I'm not good at Italian accents. Like, I'm not good at them at all. But, yes. Thank you all for watching today's stream, and I look forward to seeing more of this part of the house in Fata Morgana. The Door 3 is amazing. The next doors will be so good. I look forward to it. I really look forward to it. And I'm also very intrigued how they depict the US in the house in Fata Morgana, because right here, it's very intriguing. Like, it's very intriguing seeing, you know, them reference the New World. I'm like, wait a second, this is like the US. So it's very, very interesting that they're depicting, like, you know, across the pond in this game that typically set place in Europe in the first part. Like, the first place, I believe, was Great Britain, and then it was the Netherlands, and now we're in the US. That is very, very interesting, especially for someone who grew up in the US, seeing, like, you know, my country get depicted in it.
Okay, okay.